You guys want to hear something incredibly embarrassing? Marjorie Taylor Greene makes more sense on the issue of the Iran war, the Jeffrey Epstein war, than Chuck Schumer does. Chuck Schumer is sort of weak and pathetic and making process criticisms. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is, as you're about to see, pretty fucking pissed off about this. So let's listen and then we'll break it down.
What I do know is most Americans, and it's being proved in polling that's coming out, most Americans are completely against this war because, like you said, the president has made no case for it. We live our ordinary lives and we don't feel threatened by Iran. We don't walk around thinking that in any moment an Iranian ballistic missile is going to land on our head. We don't. Here's what Americans, and I want to read off this list. This is what Americans are focused on. 72% of Americans can't afford health insurance. 58% of Americans can't afford car insurance. 67% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 31% of Americans can't afford their back taxes. 50% of Americans are in credit card debt, massive credit card debt. That's where we are in America. And I campaigned with the president. As a matter of fact, I was one of the only Republicans that was out there for Donald Trump when the rest of the neocons, by the way, that are just cheering him on now, had abandoned him and were trying to beat him in a primary and stop him from being president again. I was out there on the front lines for Make America Great Again. And Make America Great Again was supposed to be America first, not Israel first, not any foreign country first, not any foreign people first, but the American people first in our problems. And God bless the Iranian people. I hope to God that they can have a government that is for them and that treats women fairly. But what we have seen happen right now is we have seen over 100 little girls killed at a school from a bomb. And I don't know whose bomb it was, but they're dead today because America and Israel attacked Iran. So that's not really good for Iranian women. And our president is saying that the Iranian people are all of a sudden going to topple their regime. Well, I don't think the Iranian people are going to be toppling their regime when they're getting blown apart by the United States and Israel in an unprovoked attack. And yes, it was unprovoked. And Pete Hegseth said this morning, Megan, he said that we didn't start this war. But I hate to argue with the Secretary of the Department of War. America and Israel definitely started this war, and you can't lie that away to the American people.
Damn. By the way, you have an absolute split in the MAGA base right now for real. You have the Candace Owens types and the Nick Fuentes types and the Megyn Kelly and the Tucker Carlson and the Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like they're going, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. Well, I actually meant no new wars. And they're even calling them out on shit that I'm not hearing Democrats talk about. I got to be kind. It's about 50-50 right now. Half the Democrats I see are saying good shit. Half the Democrats are being weak and feckless and pathetic. And there's even 10% of Democrats who are just actually in favor of it, like Jared Moskowitz, that asshole, right? But she's fucking spitting here. She's spitting here. She's saying, we didn't sign up for this. Nobody motherfucking signed up for this. Now, I will say, as you all know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, we warned you. Liberals and leftists warned you. That this guy is a fucking liar. He's a con man. When he says the anti-war shit, he doesn't mean it. Look at his record in his first term. He's actually going to do more war shit, right? So we warned you, but she's crusading now. She seems like she's totally, completely fed up and done here between the Epstein files and this. She seems like she's done.
Definitely started this war, and you can't lie that away to the American people. And so, you know how I feel right now?
By the way, could you imagine if I told you in the year 2019, there's going to come a time where Marjorie Taylor Greene's politics are significantly better than Joe Rogan's? You'd have been like, come on, dog. Rogan supported Bernie Sanders. Ain't no way. Marjorie Taylor Greene's a fucking diehard Republican. There's no fucking way. Well, the world is a strange place, right? And politics makes for strange bedfellows. I even like the just repeatedly insisting on the point that this was an illegal and offensive war waged against Iran. They didn't attack us. They weren't going to attack us. They didn't attack Israel. They weren't going to attack Israel, right? Just, we started it, plain and simple. Just repeating that over and over is super important because people need to hear that. They need to know that. It needs to be ingrained in their head, for sure, that's exactly what happened here. I don't want them ever thinking the opposite for even a split second. In fact, Iran agreed to the strictest uranium demands that were given by the U.S. a couple hours before they got bombed. So, and the other thing is, one area where she won't go, or at least I don't think she'll go, is pointing out, hey, you know that this is likely due to the fact that Netanyahu has blackmail on Trump, right? There's Epstein blackmail on Trump. He's on video fucking a child, and they threatened to release it. And he was like, all right, fine, I'll do your war. He's a warmonger, but this is a level above and beyond. I think there's Epstein blackmail that they're holding over his head. That's one area she won't go, but for sure, that shit is... I think that shit is real as a heart attack, man. In fact, there's evidence, and we'll do a segment on it after this, I believe. We'll do a segment on it where we've seen the emails. It's the Occam's razor reaction to some of these emails that have come out.
I am furious about this. We are nearly $40 trillion in debt. How much is this war going to cost us? We have seen enough of our American troops dead and murdered for foreign countries. And now we've had 4 dead and murdered, just like you said, for Israel and for the Iranian people.
Lying. It's way more than 4. They're admitting now 6, but the real number is going to be, it's probably going to be in the hundreds. And I would also say, don't say, oh, they're dying for the Iranians. No, they're not. They're in the midst of murdering the Iranians, massacring the Iranians. Like, they're dying for Israel. They're dying for Israel. They're dying for Trump. They're dying so the Epstein blackmail doesn't come out and people don't see a video of him being a pedophile.
Well, not for the American people. And I don't want to see any more dead and murdered. Our military is filled with some of the greatest people from our country. And God bless their families who are probably losing their minds right now, terrified that their son or daughter or their husband or wife or brother or sister may come home in a flag-draped coffin. And then we have the president who, by the way, Megan, this really needs to be said. Donald Trump has said repeatedly on camera and in interviews, he doesn't think he's going to heaven. Well, I want to ask a question, a serious question. What is in his mind?
Epstein! Katie Johnson is in his mind when he says that, right? Like, he has said that a number of times. That's a guilty-ass conscience. That's his doctor telling him, hey, man, here's the health problems you got. It's not looking all that good right now, when they're being honest behind closed doors. And that's him having a moment of honesty in front of the cameras where he lets it slip. I don't think I'm getting it to heaven. I don't think there's anything I can do to get in there. Why is that? What have you done? You care to give us details? By the way, I say it's Katie Johnson is on his mind when he says that. Is it possible that also Ivanka Trump is on his mind when he says that? Is that possible? Is that possible? Have you guys all seen that video where Ivanka Trump is in her childhood room and they're talking about her bed and she has this look on her face of absolute horror? Like maybe things happened in that bed that are still terrorizing her to this day. So yeah, gee, I wonder why he says these things. It can't be that, right? And it can't be the countless innocent civilians that their blood is on his hands, right? Can't be that.
He doesn't think he's going to heaven. Well, I want to ask a question, a serious question. What is in his mind? What is his mental state? If he doesn't think he's going to heaven and he is a man towards the end, he's in the 4th quarter, he's towards the end of his life. How does that pan out for the rest of us when we have a president of the United States who doesn't think and is convinced he's not going to heaven? What does that mean his decision making is? He already said to the New York Post today that he doesn't care about the polling. He doesn't care about what the American people think, and he may put troops on the ground. He took this is going to be a few-day war, to now it's going to be maybe 4 weeks or more. I want to say, what is happening to the man that I supported, you supported, the man that denounced what happened in Iraq, the man that said no more foreign wars, no more regime change, promised it on the campaign. J.D. Vance promised it. Tulsi Gabbard promised it. All of them promised it. And we're a year in, and we're in another fucking war, and we've got American troops being killed. I think it's time for America to rip the Band-Aid off, and we need to have a serious conversation about what the fuck is happening to this country and who in the hell are these decisions being made for and who is making these decisions.
They're liars and they never meant a word of it. But also I would say, yeah, she points out his age. Like, this motherfucker's 80 years old. He's obese. He's clearly rotting away in front of our eyes with his various disgusting rashes and bruises and all that stuff, right? And like, how much longer are you going to be around, dog? Like, maximum, if best case scenario, 6 more years? Best case scenario, right? And then we have to deal with the fallout of the Jeffrey Epstein war. We have to deal with the fallout of the axis of Epstein bombing countless countries, making the entire world hate us, not just through this, but also through the stupid trade war, right? He is destroying everything. This is a man who's so narcissistic. He's a malignant narcissist. And I think he thinks, hey, if I'm no longer around, I don't think anybody else should be able to be around either, right? I guarantee you there's conversations about using nukes, y'all. I guarantee you they've talked about using nukes on Iran. You had the poly market thing before it was taken down. It was up to like 22% chance that nukes are used before the summer, okay? We're in the worst place possible here, y'all. We are in the worst place possible. I need everybody to fucking man up, nut up, and just understand you got to impeach. You got to impeach. If you're in Congress, you got to fucking impeach. You got to impeach. The cabinet around him, if any of them happen to ever see this somehow, for the love of God, 25th Amendment, you got to hit him with it. This guy's gone. He's gone. He's mentally gone. This is insane. This is unacceptable. The president is a blackmailed pedophile, and Netanyahu is using that to destroy the entire Middle East, create a greater Israel, and get us into World War III. Okay? That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Wakey, wakey. When even Marjorie Taylor Greene now is going, red alert, bro. What the fuck is going on here? You know it's bad. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.